Hi guys and welcome back. We were just having a debate over who was going to lead this video as I got Taylor to lead the last one. Looks like I lost. So, sorry we haven't been here. Unfortunately we had a family event. We lost my father a few weeks ago and his funeral was this week. So we haven't really wanted. Yeah.
It's just in the right headspace sort of thing. It's not really been top priority.
No.
Especially you've been quite depressed.
But I decided today to try and shake it off and start moving on because especially this wouldn't be what Dad wanted.
No.
So I dyed my hair today. So doesn't look much different in the camera, but trust me, it's a lot brighter.
It's a lot gingerer.
And I decided that we would do the video and let's just have a chat. Let's have a chat about mental health in general, because initially in our introduction it was something we wanted to cover and something we don't want to be a taboo subject. Get it out, get it in the open. Mental health exists, whether you like it or not, whether you've got it or not, people should still understand.
And from our family, we have had all sorts of experience with it, from eating disorders to self-harm,
overdose and suicide attempts.
We've dealt with a lot of it, unfortunately.
Yes.
But I, in a way, feel grateful that I've been surrounded by it so much, because, in my personal opinion, it makes me understand where others are coming from more, because I can put myself in their shoes, and it just, because I know so much about mental health, it just makes sense and I'm able to help others more.
Yeah.
In that sense.
Absolutely. So we're just going to, get ready. Do a full face of whatever we feel like.
Yeah.
I'm curious to try out eyelashes, lash extensions.
False lashes.
That one. I have some in the drawer that I've picked up, but I've never been able to do it.
Try that new foundation we got. The drops.
Yes. Yeah. And we've got a new foundation to try. Well, it's the same foundation, but instead of a stick, it's a dropper. So we bought two shades, F3 and F4. F4 is what we usually use. My dogs have just entered the room, sorry.
You snuggled up.
So, yeah, we're going to give it all a go and let's just have a chat. I mean, mental health is still such a taboo subject and it affects so many people.
It's like 1 in 25.
The pressures of life nowadays
ridiculous
make it such a big problem. Such a big problem. Just the stress of social media alone sent this one into a spiral with anxiety and her eating disorder and self-harming, just because of people on social media. My answer was always, well, block them. You know, tell them where to go. Not in a polite way.
But it doesn't take away the way it makes you feel. You can read a message and be like, okay, whatever, and just block them. But that doesn't mean that that message is not going to play around in your head. You know? It's not going to stop that one message getting to you. In a way.
So, just using the Trusted Elf Primer. I love this stuff so much. And we are going through it so quickly.
It just doesn't smell right. Do you know what it smells like?
What?
Knit lotion.
Knit lotion?
Yeah.
You still have loads on your face that you've not rubbed in, dear. Come here.
I can't see. I don't know what I'm doing.
This should be interesting.
Yeah. Knit lotion. That's what it smells like.
Well, I'm sure Elf Cosmetics will be really pleased to know that. Right.
There goes any future brand deals.
Yeah. Where are the new ones? That is the F3.
I'm going to try that one. Because the F4 matched you better than it did me.
And I've got the F4. Okay. So, yeah.
This is the Revolution Pro.
It's not going to work.
There we go.
I'm going to sit here for 10 minutes and try and get into my one. Because I just can't do this stuff. So, yeah. Personally, I've covered a lot of areas of mental health. I personally suffer with quite severe depression and anxiety, which came about many, many years ago.
Many, many moons ago. Oh my god, look at that. That's pretty good. That's amazing coverage, though, to be fair.
Looks a little bit light to me.
Yeah, well, there's a ring light, Mum.
My son, who will probably never forgive me for saying this, tried to commit suicide twice. My youngest here has self-harmed and took an overdose because she couldn't cope. So
I've been through quite a lot with it.
yeah, and I have a very, very beautiful sister who does have learning difficulties, who suffers with terrible schizophrenia.
She actually might have to be sent away, won't she?
Possibly.
Recently it's got quite bad to the point of they don't have many other options other than to send her away.
Because there's no more medication they can give her at home.
Yeah.
But I spoke to my mum today and she seemed quite positive that the latest lot of medication seems to be working, so fingers crossed. But when my daughter started self-harming... Ooh.
Okay, don't spell.
Sorry, just dropped the foundation bottle. I didn't understand. I understand depression. I understand to some degree the feeling of there's nothing you can do, you know, that's it, that's my life. So I suppose to some degree I understand why some people commit suicide. This seems really, really light. La la la. But I didn't understand why she was harming herself. And I suppose to some degree I still don't understand it. I don't understand why you would hurt yourself. I was supportive, I got her all the help, I was there. I mean, I've held tea towels on her arms while waiting for paramedics, everything. But then just kind of overnight, it stopped. The self-harm stopped. And I thought, oh, okay, so we've cracked it, you know, we've done it.
Hospital facilities.
And then she started losing weight very, very rapidly.
I went from 10 stone to quite close to 8 stone in less than 2 months. It's pretty aggressive.
It's not that I missed it. She's always been a fussy eater. And with all of our schedules, with her at college and everything, or at school.
You were working at the time as well.
Yeah, and, you know, everybody was all over the place. So I could go 3-4 days with not seeing her eat a thing, and that could be quite normal. And maybe I was at work, maybe she was at college, or she was telling me she ate before I got in, and, you know. And then it started to really show, and she was caught in her bedroom exercising to the point of she was passing out, and then she started collapsing randomly, at one point hitting her head, so she ended up in hospital with concussion, and they said she had postural drop, and they weighed her, and I was floored with her weight, absolutely floored. So she already had a mental health worker, and he then sent her to the eating disorders clinic, who actually were really, really lovely, and not intentionally, just explaining things to her, the damage she was doing to her body and her organs and everything else like that. Kind of didn't stop it, but she made more of an effort to eat and put a bit of weight on and control it.
From a personal side, my eating disorder in my own head has always kind of been there, but I've never done anything to do, like, to lose the weight. I've always suffered with it, and that's because of my own personal background issues with my real dad. I've always struggled with how I look and, like, the want to lose weight. And then, from my side of the story, the self-harm kind of stopped working. So, in a way, I started self-harming myself without cutting. Started self-harming by starving myself, because what I would do, I would starve for almost a whole week. And then I would binge, like, eat everything in sight. For a whole day, and then I'd just stop eating because I'd feel guilty that I'd eaten all that much food. Like, I would eat like 2 slices of toast a day, and that would be it. And because my stomach had got used to it, it actually shrunk. So 2 slices of toast a day was enough for me to be like, okay, I actually can't eat anymore. And it was really hard to start eating proper meals, because after like 3 mouthfuls I'd feel sick because I'm like, I'm full, I promise I'm full, but it was just actually my stomach had shrunk because I wasn't eating enough. But yeah, from my side, I felt better when I lost all the weight. I felt excited every time I looked at the scale when it went down even like the tiniest bit. I was happy about that. But now, like literally the other day, we looked back at a photo of me at my friend's party when I was in the middle of my eating disorder, and I looked so ill. My face was completely skinny and gaunt. You could see all the bones in my collar. You could see my waist was about this big. Like, there was just nothing to me. And looking back on it now, I don't regret it, because it definitely made me more aware of my eating and the fact of because some days I will literally just eat 2 slices of toast and that's it. Like today I've had a bit of apple and that's it, and I'll be like, okay, I'm good, but I know that I need to go and eat, and I normally eat better when I'm eating with someone else. So like if I'm cooking, I wouldn't cook for myself, I'd cook if me and Mum were eating, because I'd want to make sure she eats. Yeah, it was a very difficult time in my head. In that sense, it's more difficult to get out of your own head than it is. Because like looking back now, I see what I look like and I hate it. But then I was so excited about the fact that I was losing weight. And it made me feel better. But it's horrible to look back at it. By the way, this foundation is sitting really nicely.
Yeah. I'm impressed.
Could you pass me my powder, please?
What one?
My MUA one.
This one?
Yeah, thank you.
So yeah, mental health, no matter what it is, can affect anybody at any time in their life. What worries me is so many people are not getting help and support. I know, especially in this area, it's so underfunded that there just isn't enough help around.
Yeah.
You know, we were very lucky with Taylor because she was a minor. There's a very good place.
But now that I'm turning 18,
they're cutting her off. So we're not sure where to go next.
Only because they don't have the resources to keep people on after that age. Because like the people I've been with, CAMS, they're an amazing company. I've been with them since the age of 13. The January after I turned 18, I was referred to CAMS. 13. After I turned 13, I was referred to CAMS. Because of things that were happening at home and I wasn't coping, I instantly turned to self-harm as a way of coping. So I've been with them for 5 years now. Well, almost 5 years. And I have to say, I feel more secure in myself now than I did when I first started with them. But then my brain instantly, when they said they're going to have to start thinking about moving me to another company, freaked out because I've known for 4 or 5 years that this works, that this company works. So it is scary, and I don't want to have to go to another company and explain my whole life story again, whereas with CAMS they were with me through it all, so I don't need to explain it to them. When I say something, they'll click into it because they know what event I'm talking about, you know? It's a very scary process for me. Have you ever actually had any counselling or anything?
Yep.
Because Mum doesn't just have bipolar depression. She actually has manic depression, which is now associated with bipolar. Can you pass me my bronzer? And what was it? You've been on the same meds for like 15 years. And up until recently, they were actually scared to change her meds because they didn't know how she was going to react. They were genuinely scared.
Makes me sound like a right psycho.
You are. They were genuinely scared about changing her medication because they didn't want her to react badly and it not to work. Well, what therapy have you been in?
I've had counselling, bereavement counselling, cognitive behavioural therapy, because I have OCD as well. Years ago they used to treat my OCD and I actually stopped taking the medication because I like my OCD because
Keeps you going.
it keeps me in control, and yeah, it keeps me going, and no matter what, it's whatever's going on in life.
That's a constant.
Yeah, I can find something to do. I can, when you're out of control of a situation, like my dad getting terribly sick or being taken into hospital and stuff like that, I obsessively clean because I can control that. I can't control what was going on with Dad. So yeah.
Can you pass me a setting powder, please?
No, because I'm confused. Sorry, I'm trying to find my blush and I don't know where it is. We really should get a better system in laying stuff out before we start, but that's an afterthought, clearly.
Yeah, it's a bit delayed.
So, yeah, it's a way for me to cope and keep things going, you know. At some times in my life, I was a single mum with 3 kids and had no choice but to keep going. So yeah, I wish I could reach out to the whole world and just say, you know, be nice.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going on in someone's life, in someone's head or anything, you know?
Honestly, that is the best piece of advice ever, because you could be struggling and you take that out on someone else, but they might have it worse off than you. So it's not right for you to take out your bad situation on someone else who might be in a bad situation as well.
You just don't know. You don't know. My biggest bugbear is actually... Oh, here we go. Glow baby. Is actually homeless people and drug users that are also homeless. Now, I'm not defending every single one of them.
my elbow.
But,
I'll get it.
yeah. What I have seen, especially around my mum's area, but yeah, okay, especially with drugs, they have a problem. But they're not out to hurt you or anything else like that. They just want to be left alone and treated like human beings, because they still are. You know, they have an addiction, and that addiction has possibly come from mental health, whether it be a trauma or, you know, it started as a job loss or whatever else, and it has escalated to the fact they're homeless and they rely on drugs or drink or whatever to be able to get through the day, and they're treated like pieces of dirt. And I really, really hate that. Really hate that. Around by my mum's area, there are a few that are homeless, and in a meadow by her, they're living in their little tent and everything else.
But they're the nicest people.
Yeah. They always say hello to my mum, the dog goes up to them, they fuss the dog, you know, and they're so good, and they look for her, you know, and it makes me angry, it really does. Now, please excuse me, I'm going to do my eyebrows.
I think addiction is a big thing with mental health, because everyone's addicted to something, whether it's money, power, drugs, alcohol, even nicotine. Everyone in their life at one point has been or is addicted to something.
Or will be.
Yeah, or will be. You know, it's... Everyone copes with things a different way, but a lot of people use things to help them cope. Like for me, it was self-harming. And self-harming to me, even though I know it's psychological, and I am not saying in any way, shape or form that is a good idea, but personally to me, self-harm, I could be so pent up with all these emotions, and as soon as I cut, to me it felt like a release and a weight off of me, and like I could turn over and go to sleep and sleep fine. That was just how it worked for me. I'm not saying it's a good idea, but I'm just saying that, like...
From your experience.
From my experience, I was addicted to self-harming. And, in a sense, addicted to not eating. But now, me and you are both addicted to comfort eating.
Yeah. Hello.
We very much comfort eat. It's our first thing to do. And we both smoke. So there's that as well. We have that addiction of smoking.
And gin.
Yeah, alcohol, but I'm 17, so shut up.
No, I have gin.
Yeah, so do I sometimes. But yeah, addiction is a big thing, and it's not really brought up because it's always seen as a bad thing. Like, oh, you're addicted to drugs, oh, you're disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Oh, you have an alcohol problem, why don't you go have a drink? You know, it's not talked about. The same with mental health. They are big things that are a part of a lot of people's lives, more than you could ever think. But because it's not all nice and polite and pretty, it's not talked about.
Yeah.
Because it is dirty. It is a horrible conversation to have. So it's just not brought up.
When actually what you should be doing is getting to the root of the problem of what got them there in the first place, before you can do anything. And you don't have to do anything. I'm not saying every one of you has to go out and be a counsellor and reform and help and everything else, but just be a decent human being.
It's not hard.
Just say hello as you walk past. Yeah, it's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And heartbreaking. Absolutely heartbreaking. But to see your own children go through it, and not just one, all three of my children. Like I said, my son took 2 overdoses, and this caused his heart to flip. into an irregular rhythm. It's called AF. I can't say the full name. I just can't pronounce it.
Arterial fibrillation or something.
Atrial, yeah, something like that. And he was only young. He was like 19, 20
18.
when it started. Yes, 18.
18. Because he's 5 years. No,
And
7 years.
it's been a long, long process with him. And at times, whilst waiting for surgery to correct his heart, which is a cardioversion, where they restart the heart with a jump start, basically, with the paddles.
It's like when you restart your computer. Like, it's glitching or whatever, so you restart it and try and see if that'll help it. That's basically what they did.
Yeah. But he had it done
3 times.
3 times. And now has a device in his chest. It's not a pacemaker or anything. It just records so that hopefully they get a heads up that there's a problem. That's seriously pink for you.
Why not?
She hates pink.
Yeah, but that's a really pretty colour.
Underdog.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. There's been occasions where his heart stopped and I've had to resuscitate him on more than one occasion. That's traumatic enough. But my middle daughter was born with disabilities and I've had to resuscitate her too in times gone past.
You haven't had to do it to me.
And then hold tea towels on your baby's arms, pressing with all your might to stop the bleeding as she passes out through blood loss. Yeah, been there too. And that leaves a scar and a memory that you'll never get rid of. Luckily, the children have all got help and they're all getting to a coping situation. I don't want to say better.
No.
But they're getting to a much better coping situation where hopefully they can get on with their lives and not let mental health destroy it. But over the last 5 years, it's controlled every move they've made.
I mean, even you this last week, I don't know from a mother's perspective what it's like to see your kids go through that. But I know from my perspective this last week of mum just being so severely depressed, the worst I've actually ever seen her. It was breaking my heart. Like, I was almost crying any time I spoke to her because she just didn't care. Like, obviously mum has OCD, but her depression was that bad. Like, we have like daily jobs sort of thing that we do, like we have to clean the lounge on Thursdays or whatever and stuff like that. And she was like, just do the basic housework and then whatever. Like, to me, considering my mum has always been the strongest person I've ever known, to me that has been ripping my heart out. God, I'm gonna cry. It's been ripping my heart out to just see her so depressed, and I know that I can't do anything about it because there's no way to make someone feel better about losing someone. There isn't a way you can make that okay.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. But today I phoned her when I was on my break, and she just seemed so much chirpier, and it made me happy. And like, especially when I came home, because I was at work, I came home from work and I walked in and she greeted me with a big smile and kisses and cuddles, and it made me feel so much better because I was dreading what was going through her head. What? Oh, I don't know what that is.
Can I have a setting spray, please?
No.
It's been very dark, guys.
But yeah, it's been really difficult. I mean, I know it's been really difficult for you this last week because, not in a harsh way at all, I'm not meant to upset you or anything.
I do not know what's coming, I'm worried.
The granddad that we lost, was actually Mum's stepdad, because we've already lost my other granddad, which was my mum's real dad. But obviously, when he passed, this granddad was holding my mum's arm at the funeral, and then now she doesn't have that. It was always kind of like, as a joke, we'd say she had a backup dad, which was her stepdad. And now that he's gone, it's a lot more difficult to turn around and say, I've still got a dad left. And the same for me, because I was helping Mum care for my granddad before he passed. 2016 he passed, and I was helping Mum care for him, hence my attendance at school was so bad.
Yeah, that's the excuse.
Yeah, that's the excuse. But yeah, and then to go through all of that with him and him to pass, to then be in the exact same position 2 years later, 3 years later, with the granddad that was there for me when the first one passed. I know for me it was very, very difficult to cope with that, because now I don't have a granddad, because I don't know my dad's side of the family. I don't think he even knows his dad, but now I don't have a granddad. But I know it's worse for you, because obviously now you don't have a dad.
I have always been very... Excuse you.
Sorry.
I've always been very, very lucky. Very lucky. I had 2 amazing dads. They really were amazing men, as well as fathers and husbands and grandfathers and...
Oh yeah, the best grandfathers ever.
Yeah, spoiled rotten kids. Absolutely
Always.
spoiled rotten. But, yeah, now I've lost both. My biological father was very, very difficult, because I cared for him at home for 2.5 years.
I thought you meant he was just difficult.
Well, yeah, he was difficult. But yeah, I cared for him at home for 2.5 years, and that's where he passed away, was at home. And on the day of the funeral, my stepdad came to me and he gave me his arm, and he stood with me as the hearse arrived and everything. And then, yeah, my stepdad, which I don't call him that, he's my dad.
Same with me.
Passed away after a 3-year battle with Alzheimer's.
And dementia.
My mum mainly cared for him at home. I helped out as much as I could in between working and dealing with the kids. Until very recently he had to go into a nursing home. Not by my mum's choice. She fought for weeks with the authorities and the health authority and everything, because she just wanted to take him home. But we lost that battle, and he went in, let's say February.
Yes, it was February.
To a Hawthorne Court, which is an amazing, I must admit, amazing nursing home. They really were incredible in there, and
they cared for him like it was their dad.
Yeah,
sort of thing. Like even his nurse turned up at the funeral.
Yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But yeah, losing him in such a bad way, it has a massive knock-on effect, and I honestly do not know how my mum is still going. So Mum, if you ever watch this, you are a legend, and I love you, and I'm really proud of you, and I know I said all this to you at the funeral because my mum had a great idea to get 3 of her 4 children to stand up at my father's funeral and
I thought you were going to say you had a great idea
talk
to
about his life. Well, and she said, her fault, she said, you can say anything you want, I just want memories. So we did. We all stood up, we spoke, even Taylor got up and spoke. Can I have mascara, please? Mm-hmm. And I don't think one of us was serious. We all told stories of, times when he'd just been a bit more than a dad. He used to moan that I used too much toilet roll. So one day he cut up an entire Times newspaper into squares like that and threaded every one of them onto a piece of string.
And hid the toilet paper.
And hid the toilet roll. So the next time I came over to visit, that's what was hanging in the bathroom. And so we stood up and we told all stories like that, because that's who he was to us.
I thought you were going to sneeze on.
No. Just curling my lashes quickly.
I know from my perspective, he was just a funny man. Like, even though he had his rules, like...
He was very strict.
Elbows off the table. And stuff like that. Like, no elbows on the table. Don't speak food in your mouth. Don't start before everyone else at the table.
Sit up straight.
Sit up straight.
Use your knife and fork properly.
It's not a shovel.
Yeah.
And then to see him get to the point where he would just sit down at the table and start eating away and start swearing in public, it was funny at the time, but then you look back and you think about who he was as a man, and it's kind of heartbreaking. Just see how much this disease actually changed him. Because the man who passed away in the nicest way possible was not my granddad. It wasn't, because he was just changed by this disease, and that's not his fault. It's not anyone's fault but the disease. And that's just something you kind of have to deal with in a way.
Now the weird thing is, Alzheimer's and dementia come under the mental health clinic or team or whatever you want to call them.
Really?
Yeah. The mental health used to go out and see him at home with Nanny.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Uh-huh.
Can you pass me that mirror, please?
What?
This one.
I'm using it.
Well, I've got to do my eyeliner.
That's nice.
I can't hold that. I'm still doing my
Dog's
eyeliner.
just dropped a toy down her legs. So yeah, it's all so intertwined, and then you've got. I just put mascara on my face. Sorry. Whoa. Oh well. Whatever, Trevor. Sorry, I'm just gonna drink a bit of my tea. So yeah, not one of our normal silly, giggly, mess about videos, but these are serious topics, and I want I want you to be free to talk to us about these topics. I'm just gonna find some lipstick.
Yeah, like we said in our intro, it's no hold bars here. Like, we will talk about anything you want. It's not a case of we're going to judge, because we've been there. We can't judge when we've been in the exact same position. God, I hate doing this.
What?
So scary.
Doing what? What kind? How's that scary?
Because I can't see, so I don't know when it's at my eye.
Well, you'll feel it on your face. Okay, so if you have anything you would like to discuss, leave a comment. For those of you that have subscribed that know us personally, get in touch if you need help. There is always Samaritans, your doctors and all stuff like that. But on this channel, we'll discuss anything.
Yeah.
Anything. Okay? But if you bring up politics, I'm telling you now, it'll be a 4-hour video.
Don't do it.
Okay?
Just don't do it, because I will get angry and something will smash. Okay? So let's just not... Maybe politics is the one subject we won't discuss. Because I get very angry about politics. Hence I want to be a lawyer. Because I want to put people straight.
Talk about politics. Ow,
I heard that.
Oh, this lip line is going so wrong. I look like I've got clown lips.
That's why I use lip balm. Oh, I've got mascara on my glasses. Hey, buddy, you want to play? Oh, God. Dying.
I'm not dying.
I am dying.
It's getting rather warm in here all of a sudden.
Well, we do have a light staring us in the face, hence the circles. We've had a couple comments about that, by the way, guys. I'm really sorry, but we can't not wear our glasses. Like, especially me, because, like, my vision's really bad. Like, really bad. It's, like, 9 out of 20.
+9.
+9 out of 20. So, it's pretty bad. And I need to see. So, whereas Mum can have them off for a while, if I have them off for too long, I will get a massive migraine. That was a really attractive face. Oh my God.
So, false lashes in that drawer.
I'm not doing false lashes.
No, you don't need to. Have you seen those eyelashes? Should have to get them from my dad because it wasn't me. Okay, we're doing these ones. Oh, these were the ones from Poundland.
Oh yeah, we didn't do them in the video.
One pair with glue, wild and free, just right beauty, false lashes.
Oh no, I fell over.
So let's have a little look. See, I can't even get in the package. Ah.
I just want to throw a little shout out there to my best friend Akira. I know
Squishy!
she's been really mad at us this week because she keeps just messaging me like, "Where's the video? Where's the video? I'm waiting."
I love you, Squishy.
I love you, Squishy, and we will see you Monday.
Yeah.
So you're welcome. We are filming for you, and we love you.
We're both sat here in our pyjama shorts, by the way, Squishy.
Yeah, it's way too hot.
La la la. Right, okay, so how do I do this?
I have no idea.
Well,
Hey!
you read that because you've got glasses on and I haven't.
Wash your hands before applying false lashes.
Mm-hmm.
Never stick them to your own lashes. Always glue them to the eyelid. Clean them thoroughly before reusing. Throw them away at the first sign of wear and tear. Yeah, that's it.
That was really helpful.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. Now, are there scissors over there?
No, there's scissors under there. No, I can't sell scissors to people at work unless they've got ID.
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Same as you can't. You know, knife and fork set?
Yeah, I know about that one. And like they've got like scalpel knives that you can't sell, which is like fair enough. But they've got me like 25. It's crazy. I mean, I suppose you don't want a like 13-year-old walking in and just be like, "Oh, can I have this knife?" I mean, that does make sense, but it's still kind of crazy. I never knew that was a thing.
Okay. These seem very, very long, so I'm just going to take a bit off the end.
Have you actually measured them against your eye first?
Yes.
Oh, go on.
I was watching... Those scissors don't work. I was watching...
Nikki, Tati,
No,
Jeffrey,
no, Laura Lee.
Laura Lee. Okay.
Laura Lee.
I don't-
Love you. And yeah, she was doing her lashes, so...
So you're just copying her.
Yeah, I'm copying what she did. She said to squish the lashes up a bit. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I've
Do you want to try that again? How have I got eyeshadow on my leg?
Okay, so just trim the ends off a little bit. Let's recheck for size. That's better. And then if you get the lid off the glue, put a little bit of glue on there. Is there even anything on there?
I don't know what you're doing. I don't like the look of false lashes. Because I feel like they look obviously fake.
Hang on a second. Take your glasses off and get up close and show these people those beautiful, long, black eyelashes.
They're not that long. They're kind of stubby, to be honest.
I mean, and then look at mine. And they've got mascara on. Okay, so I'm going to try this.
I'm beautiful like my mama.
Well, you're very beautiful, my little model. Ouch.
We have this thing in our house where if anyone puts themselves down, they get hit. So that's why
I did not technically put myself down.
Yes, you did. You denied the fact you're beautiful.
Help me.
What have you done, man? That's better.
It's too high.
You should use tweezers.
Thanks.
That's why tweezers were invented, mother dear.
This is not working.
You're not. Yeah, it is. It looks good. Apart from you've got to pull this end down.
Ouch.
Oh, no, never mind. Okay. You did bad.
I did really bad.
I don't. Your eyes watering.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Look, this is not... Have you seen this? Hello?
Okay, maybe that needs to be a whole new video.
Hey! Stop fighting! Come here. Up.
Oh, this video is going to be like an hour long.
Right, okay, give up, can't do it. We'll try again in another video. Hi! Thank you for watching and listening, and just please remember, be nice.
Yeah.
Okay, please, be nice. You just don't know.
And if you guys need us, we're on social media. It's just Get Ready with Mum, so you can always message us. And we'll help you as much as we can.
Bye.
Bye.